If you're making travel plans for this year, fasten your seatbelts. Airfares and hotel prices are expected to rise again in 2013. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg is here with more of this year's good and the bad news travel trends. Hello, Mr. Greenberg.
Hello, Ms. King. Let's start with the bad news, and that's the airfares. They're going to go up anywhere between 8 and 12%.
Why?
Fewer airlines, consolidations, mergers. We may even see one happen later this week when American Airlines has a board meeting tomorrow. We'll find out if that merger with U.S. Air is even going to happen. The bottom line is you have more passengers competing for fewer seats. And now what that means is the airlines can basically pick and choose the routes they own and charge essentially whatever they want. There's not much competition. To give you an example of that, when I finished the show this morning, I'm taking the Washington shuttle. A flight that takes 38 minutes from New York's LaGuardia to Washington Reagan. You know what the coach airfare is? $938. Because they know the people who are on that plane need to be on that plane. They didn't just decide to go there today.
And what time will it arrive after it departs?
That's right.
Well, that's another $938. That's the charge they make you pay to land the plane.
One quick question that can I ask about. Is it likely that the board will approve the U.S. Air merger?
There will be probably an announcement tomorrow about the fact that there's a merger offer on the table. But first, the airline has to come out of bankruptcy. I think that's the first thing you're going to see tomorrow.
All right.
The other thing that's going to happen this year are the fees are going to go up. What a surprise. In 2011, the airlines generated over $22 billion in ancillary fees. You know what it was last year? $36 billion. It's going to go even higher. And that's really what's keeping the airlines flying. It's not the airfares, it's the fees.
How about visa restrictions?
Well, the good news for a lot of foreign travelers, for the first time, the American government has actually lessened the waiting time. The waiting time for visas last year, if you were a foreign Chinese person trying to get to the United States, or a foreign Brazilian, or Indian, was about 160 days. It's now down to 2. Which means we're going to have a flood of people who've been desperately trying to get to the United States, and now they finally can. And what that really means is that's another reason why the fares are going to go up, because the market's going to be set not by us, but by foreign travelers. Last year was the first year that more than 1 billion people crisscrossed a foreign country, which meant they're all travelers now.
Help us understand, Peter, why it's so hard to use frequent flyer miles. I feel you have to stand on one leg and do the hokey pokey before you can turn them in. It's so
and
difficult.
You have to have a snowmobile.
Yeah, I know.
The point is this. If you have fewer airlines, more people competing for fewer seats, and all the planes are full with revenue-paying passengers, there's no incentive whatsoever for the airlines to release a quote-unquote free ticket if they're already filling the planes. Now, they can't stop the programs because they make more money for the airlines than the airlines make actually operating the airlines. It's amazing.
Wow.
So what they're doing is they're trying to transform these programs to something we never expected, from a frequent flyer ticket redemption program to a frequent flyer experience redemption program. So how about a box of chocolates? How about a magazine subscription? How about a toaster? We're going back to the days of S&H green stamps. Anything other than giving you a ticket. So if you've got miles right now, don't hoard them. Look out even 333 days, or 330 days actually, and go out there and just get a ticket anywhere, because they're going to become less and less valuable. I don't trust the airlines as airlines. Why would I trust them as banks? Don't hoard those miles.
What about hotel prices?
Once again, the foreign travelers are setting that market. They're going to be coming in and flooding those markets with rooms, and that means law of supply and demand. So if you can get a great room, get it now, because those people are going to come in and fill those rooms. It's not us anymore. It's the Chinese, the Russians, the Indians, and the Brazilians. And
the use of electronic devices below 10,000 feet. You know, I have mixed feelings about that, because I was next to a guy on his cell phone. I wanted to gouge my eyes out the other day. Well, cell phones are different.
Gouge your eyes or his?
His too, but the conversation was so ridiculous, and you're just sort of trapped like a rat listening to it.
Well, the thing is, you're not going to get a fight from me on that, because I think people should be banned from using cell phones on planes. For all sorts of reasons. But for the first time, the FAA and the FCC are finally going to release the rules. They're going to relax the rules. Which means that people will probably be allowed to use their electronic devices, not cell phones, but their tablets, their iPods, their whatever, on the ground and before they get to 10,000 feet.
That's good.
And when you think about this, Charlie, American Airlines right now allows their own pilots to use their iPads in the cockpit. That tells you everything you need to know.
So why do you want cell phones banned on airlines?
Because I don't want to listen to your conversation.
Because you're trapped with
I don't do it, but that much. But I mean, but if you talk softly, is that
nobody
a big problem?
Nobody can talk softly on a plane because you're screaming over the air noise.
That's right.
Guess where I am? That's the first phone call they make.
Yes.
And then and not only that, it's too crazy. Plus, you can't get a signal up there anyway. Who are you kidding?
Well, I don't mean in the air. I mean before you take off.
Well, if you're on the ground and you actually haven't pushed back from the gate, I don't care if anybody talks on the phone. Once you push back, ban it. Just tell that to Alec Baldwin.
Okay. All right. Peter Greenberg,
thank you so much.